Okay.
Maybe we should get another camera set up. No, this is fine.
What's up, Gays? It's your girl, Rose. So today's video is completely unscripted. Well, all of my videos are, but this one, like, more so. So what we're going to be talking about, he and I just finished, this is my brother Joe, for those who don't know, he's been in a lot of my other videos, but he and I just finished Rick and Morty Season 3. So we're all caught up, and I'm leaning back in my chair and it's going to fall over. Don't be surprised if that happens. So we're all caught up and we're ready to talk about theories.
Yeah.
So, I don't even know where to start.
Did you have anything you want to talk about? I took notes. She didn't.
He prepared so much more than me.
Alright.
Okay, well, first can we talk about the Season 3 finale?
Sure.
So, okay.
It was not what I was expecting personally, but I thought it was really good. I think it was one of the... It made me laugh a lot more than some other episodes, because sometimes I think I take the show very seriously, and I'm just like...
Same.
I get so into like all the darker plots and stuff, I forget that it's a comedy, and I'm like... You were laughing during the Rick Lantis episode, but I just could not. Also, there will be...
there was a funny part. I took it seriously too, but...
Yeah. There will be spoilers.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
this is like Season 4 theories.
After Season 3. What do I think there's nothing?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
But I don't think we'll get mad.
They do?
That's on them.
That seems to be a personal problem. Anyway. Why are you looking at me in that weird way?
I'm not. Alright. Do you want me to start talking about things?
Oh, you have stuff written down, but I just wanted to say my quick thoughts on the Season 3 finale.
Yeah.
A lot of people said it was anticlimactic, which I personally loved it, but it was kind of anticlimactic in some ways. And now you had a theory that I wanted to talk about right off the bat. I guess in the past their airing schedule has been a little bit hectic and random, with certain surprise episodes having come out before.
Yeah, so you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
So I got even more on that. So basically there's a theory that Season 3 isn't over yet, and there's actually going to be more. And so some of the reasons for this are originally there was going to be 14 episodes, but they ended up just doing 10. And in an interview, an interviewer was asking Dan Harmon the reasoning behind this, and he said, "Oh, you shouldn't trust me. I mostly blame myself for doing 10 episodes instead of 14." So a lot of people think that it's a fake out, and they're still planning to do 14 episodes. Another reason is there was no Evil Morty, and that kind of... People were expecting Evil Morty, which you were saying it's a...
Well, I have my own thoughts on that. So...
I think that they're saving him.
That was exactly what I was going to say. My thoughts exactly. My thing about Evil Morty, I have so many thoughts about him actually. But one thing that I do think, I think people were thinking that he was going to be this big part of the Season 3 finale. And I never thought that. Joe knows this because he kept saying that was going to happen. And I was like, no way. He's going to be big later on, and they're going to keep giving us little hints of him, but he's just not going to be a big thing that early on.
Yeah. So going on with the more episodes of Season 3, and this to me is the most convincing piece of evidence, is there at the very end of Season 3, Episode 10, at the very end of it, we get to see another little clip of Mr. Poopy Butthole's home life. And in it, he says, "We won't see more for a really long time. When we come back," he said, you might even see me with a big white Santa Claus beard." So a lot of people are predicting that the next episode is going to come out on Christmas, and they're going to have a Christmas special.
Oh my god, I would love that.
That would be so cool. And
I had thought that Santa Claus placement,
I know, I thought about it too. It seemed
interesting way.
And the way he said it too, he was like,
yeah,
Santa Claus here. Yeah, it was pretty telling, I think. And
Christmas finale would be so interesting. I personally still don't think they're gonna bring Evil Morty into it, but they might do something a little more intense, because that last episode wasn't even as intense as just some of the other episodes, even of that season. I mean, so usually finales are super intense, and this isn't anything against the finale. I liked it. I thought it was funny. I thought it was fun. It was a good episode. It just wasn't finale. I don't know
Yeah,
how to explain it.
So the last thing is in another interview with Dan Harmon, an interviewer asked, "When's the next time we're going to see Evil Morty?" And Dan Harmon responded, hold on, let me find the quote. Oh, he said, quote, "Just wait until the end of the season."
Wait, when did you say
End
that?
quote. I believe it was directly after the release of season 3 episode. What was Rick Lantis episode? It was directly after the release of the Rick Lantis one.
Oh.
Which is the one where we saw Evil Morty last.
Yes.
So that really makes me think that I think if they're doing more season 3, he's got to be part of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know about that quote. See, I'm not saying that he won't be part of it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like misread that way. I just don't think that he's going to.
Oh, I think that they're not going to finish up with him. I think that they're
Yeah.
going to keep building and building. You know, now he's the leader of the Council of Ricks.
Citadel? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, the Citadel of
Okay, I
Ricks.
was trying to think of that word.
So there's the Council of Ricks. Which, can I talk about my next theory?
Yes.
Oh my god, this is my favorite one that I found. And we know, so this is following the clone Beth theory, so this is getting into Hannah's favorite character. So this is really exciting to me. There's people who believe that the Beth that we have is a clone, which I think so. I definitely think so.
Absolutely.
If she is, that means that our other Beth is off somewhere on her own, in space probably, with a portal gun and adventuring. What if there's, in the next season, there's going to be a council of Beths? And
I can so see it.
So, a big discussion among that theory is, would the Council of Beths be on Rick's side or against him?
Ooh.
Because I personally think against him, because as Beth is so supporting and loving of her father, once a lot of Beths get together, I think that they'll have more confidence of themselves and can support each other. And I think that it'll probably be a little bit of a feud between them. And people are talking about a war, perhaps, between Beths and Ricks. I don't know, it's really exciting to me.
Yeah, it is to me too. This is the first I've heard of that theory.
Yeah.
And I like that
theory.
theory.
I was saving for you.
Yeah, you knew I'd like that one.
Yeah.
The thing about Beth is, yes, she has this attachment to her father and all of that, but I think whether she was cloned or not, in the episode when she was given the option to become a clone, the ABCs of Beth, we see a huge shift in her character. And
immediately afterwards, she's so much happier afterwards, and it seems like...
That might be the clone, but either way, she recognizes who she really is, and this darkness in her, and she's not necessarily so loyal to her dad anymore.
Oh yeah, I agree. So I think that if there is a Council of Beths, which I personally really hope there is, I think that would be such a cool plot line.
Yeah.
And people are predicting that might be the season 4 villain, kind of. Like we kind of had the president as this season 3. I mean,
kind of.
I say kind of because it's very much kind of.
Yeah.
I feel like I had other things down. And then also, we've been talking about this a lot, but the Evil Morty stuff, and if Evil Morty is Rick C-137's original Morty.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. I almost forgot to talk about that.
Just because we've been talking about it so much just on our own. You know?
Yeah, okay, so I don't know if this is... See, I'm very disconnected from, the fandom. I don't really know what everyone else thinks.
I think most people agree with that kind of... Just because
I
know that Film Theory did a video on that.
Oh, well then probably a lot of people do.
And then everyone in the comments seemed to agree, to my knowledge.
But so for those that don't know, let's just explain it. So basically the theory is, and it's hard to explain.
It's so hard to explain.
Basically that Evil Morty, so to speak, is in fact the original Morty, not the original Morty that we saw in season 1 necessarily, but before the show started or whatever. That's the original Morty. So...
Yeah, so a lot of the evidence for this theory comes from the fact that in season 1, episode 1, in the description, we learned that Rick has just returned after being absent in Beth's life for 20 years. But later on,
well, they mention that a couple times.
They mention that
in the description.
I was just saying, like, yeah, they say it a couple times. But in later on in the show and other episodes, we see like flashes of Rick's memories holding a baby Morty, and I personally think that could have been just like a mistake. But the reason I definitely think it's not is later on, there's another time we see an image of Rick holding baby Morty, and that's in Bird Person's house when they're at the wedding, during the wedding squanch.
Oh yeah, that's not accidental.
Oh, I don't think so either.
And I never thought it was though. That was so purposeful.
I questioned it just because it could have been. It was
Think about how much work they put into like each.
Yeah, I don't know if I wrote it down, but I was reading a quote from Dan Harmon where they were saying we put so much effort into not making any slight mistakes because
everything is very purposeful.
I agree. So yeah, I think I personally think that, and after Rick comes back, or I don't know what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah, so he comes back into Beth's life, and what we basically think, and what a lot of people think, is that he left this evil Morty for whatever reason in another dimension after some kind of battle or fight, some kind of conflict.
This is another thing that I had and this is just another theory, is that if evil Morty is Rick's original Morty, how come he's so much smarter than other Mortys? And one theory that I saw is that because in the other dimension, Rick's original dimension, and this Morty's original dimension, Rick raised Morty on his own. So this is one of the only versions of Morty where he's raised just by Rick. And that, because
no Jerry influence.
no Jerry influence, no Beth influence, just Rick. So I think that that's definitely plausible.
Well, and that theory could also lend to the fact that something that a lot of people don't talk about is why, or at least, again, I'm not really a big part of the fandom, but that I don't think people talk about enough. Why did evil Morty become evil? And if he had that even stronger connection to Rick than he does now, than the Morty that we know has, because he was raised only by Rick, it would only add to it if Rick did something to betray him.
Or, it's another thing that I saw is that if this Morty is so intelligent, when he starts traveling to other dimensions and sees the Citadel of Ricks and sees how poorly Mortys are treated, he could have just went AWOL a little bit and been like, oh geez, Rick, this is how Mortys are treated.
Oh
geez. And then because he had that level of intelligence, he decided to leave and go off on his own, which is why Rick would have to go to a new dimension to get a new Morty.
Well, okay, there's one thing that this is like the first time this has popped into my head, so let me know what you think of this.
Okay.
I just now thought of this. There could be more to it than just a betrayal, too, because, okay, I've been thinking betrayal this whole time, and I'm sure that's part of it, but if that Morty is so intelligent, keep in mind, part of the reason that every Rick has a Morty is so that he can be shielded, right?
Ooh.
So if this evil Morty is so intelligent, that could be part of the rift between them, and why Rick doesn't want that Morty anymore. And that could be why
he's
not going to be useful to him. He's not going to be a shield to him.
And that could be so he maybe. Oh, here's an idea. Maybe that Morty was intelligent and never was like a quote-unquote evil, which is something else I want to talk about in a minute, whether or not he's really evil. And but maybe he was never really evil. But then because he was intelligent, Rick decided to leave him, and then he decided to become evil.
Well, evil, he's certainly against Rick. We don't really know how evil he is.
We'll call him anti-Rick instead of evil.
Well, the fandom name for him is Evil Morty.
So it's fine that we're calling him that. But, can I talk about another thing that kind of says that Evil Morty maybe isn't so evil?
Yeah.
So, both Hannah and I, Rose, both Rose and I agree that the Evil Morty theme song is a bop, because it is.
It is.
It's and the name of the song is "For the Damaged Coda" by Blonde Redhead. And this is just something that I thought. This isn't like something I've been reading on the internet. But because the name of the song is "For the Damaged Coda," it makes you wonder if it's saying that he's not evil, he's just damaged. And I don't think that's a detail that they would just. I feel like that could be purposeful.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of the soundtrack is purposeful.
And "For the Damaged Coda" is just like coda is an extension of a song. So there's an original song that's for the broken, and then they redid it with like all that cool beats and stuff
To turn it into such a
to
bop.
turn it into such a bop. Yeah. What else do I have?
That was a Mr. Poopy Butthole voice.
Was it?
It sounded like it to me. I'm trying to think. I feel like there was more that I wanted to bring up too.
Another thing is just I just have a little, not a quote, but like a thing that just was I read about that said Dan Harmon says that they're getting more efficient at making seasons and producing the show as time goes on, because like they're learning from their past mistakes and like what they don't, they're spending too much time on things that they're not working on, and they're learning from it, so it's gonna start coming out faster as time goes
I
on.
freaking hope so.
Yeah. I've also read a lot of things that say the next season is going to be even darker than previous ones, which
I'm scared but excited.
me too.
Yeah, I feel like definitely it keeps getting continuously darker, but season 3 was certainly, and I hate when people like describe shows as dark. It's like, ooh, look how edgy I am, but like it is dark.
That's all I have really.
I feel like I have more, but I can't think of it right now.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll just think of other things
like
later.
As soon as we finish this video.
As soon as the video's over, I'm going to be like, oh, I forgot about this.
Well, if we do think of more, I mean...
We can just add them in.
No,
just cut them in.
Or, I mean, we can possibly make another video in the future is actually what I was going to say.
Oh, yeah.
But, because this was fun. I enjoy talking about theories. I could talk about Rick and Morty theories literally all day. So speaking of other theories, I actually have one more that I do just want to insert into this video. It's not really long enough to make a whole nother video. This one's already getting long, so I am just going to quickly go over the big parts of this theory. I made a post on Tumblr. I'm going to go ahead and screen record so you guys can see the screenshots and stuff that I took. I'll also link to the full post below in case if you do want to read over every detail of what I put. But the main idea is that I did just recently rewatch the finale, and I had some thoughts that I haven't really seen anyone else talking about. Now, my main thing is that if you notice in season 3, especially towards the second half, Rick and Morty are getting along really well, definitely a lot better than usual, especially after the episode where they see their toxic selves, and I feel like a lot of character growth happened there. There's even one of my favorite moments of the show when Rick openly says that he is autistic, and you see Morty kind of feeling validated. Overall, that finale is really just about those two getting along, in my opinion. Now, if you kind of watch towards the end of the episode, there's a little bit of a shift. Morty decides he doesn't want to take a selfie with the president. So that in itself is kind of whatever. He doesn't want to take the selfie. But, you know, his reaction of actually leaving the White House is what really surprised me. Just because he's seen Rick do worse. Frankly, he's definitely seen him do worse than kill people in the White House, and we already know Morty doesn't really care about these guys. He's stated that himself. Another really big thing is note that in the White House we see Morty wearing his signature yellow shirt that he always wears. So after this, we see him again in the cabin after he has abandoned Rick, essentially. We see him again in that yellow shirt. So the weird thing is we next see him in his mountain shirt. Now, the interesting thing is, Mountain Shirt Morty is actually, if you guys have ever played Pocket Mortys, it's kind of like a parody of Pokemon, but it's Rick and Morty. You collect Mortys and have them fight each other. It's super fun. But I recently started playing, and I noticed that Mountain Shirt Morty is actually a character. So that, I'm kind of not sure if maybe that is just like a little Easter egg for the game or what. But right afterwards, a little bit later, we see him again in his yellow shirt. This is when he's with the whole family. He's kind of laughing. Beth has just made a joke at Rick's expense. We see everyone else happy and laughing except for Rick. Now, I'm not saying that Morty wouldn't side with his family over Rick. That's not necessarily out of character in itself. It's just sort of an odd change towards the end of the episode, and the shirt just kind of makes me wonder what's going on there. So, what am I getting at? Well, overall, and I kind of list some more detailed examples in my post on Tumblr. Again, I'll link to that so you guys can read. But when characters wear different outfits, it generally means something. So some notable examples would be Evil Morty and his eye patch, Evil Rick and his scar. There's a few other examples of just, Summer and her top is a big one when she goes to the planet where females are basically in charge with Rick, and her top ends up saving their life. Overall, when characters have a different character design, even if it's just slightly different, it generally means something and it's not just random. So Morty being in that different shirt makes me wonder. So my theory, I'm going to stop rambling now and get to the meat of this theory. My theory is that it's possible, since Dan Harmon did say Evil Morty was going to be a big part of the finale, that Evil Morty either kidnapped real Morty or, for whatever reason, replaced him just for the end of that episode. So this could be a big plot point, whether in season 4 immediately they realize that it's not their regular Morty and it's actually Evil Morty in disguise, or maybe he tricks them a little bit throughout the season, or maybe even in the secret episode, possibly the secret Christmas finale that we might get. This could be a thing. So I just thought that that was an interesting theory. I just want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. So if you guys have any theories of your own or thoughts on our theories, please feel free to comment them below. Oh yeah, you gotta get swifty, you guys. Guess what just came in the mail? I'm so excited. Okay. Now is going to be a moment of truth to find out if this is worth a 9-season arc. Are you ready?
I'm super ready. Will you help me open mine because I can't do it with one hand?
No, you're videotaping me eating mine. Okay.
No, we have to do it at the same time.
It's open. Oh, okay. We have to do it. But how are you going to do it if you're camera?
I'll just, it's like how-to basic. I'm recording from first perspective.
Okay, but I want my moment to be on camera.
Your moment will be on camera.
Okay. Joe, are you ready?
You can go first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is intense. This is so much pressure. Oh my god, that's amazing.
Is it?
Oh my god.
It's good? Alright, I gotta try it.
That's so freaking good. Oh my goodness, this is the best thing I've ever eaten.
Mmm.
Good lord. You guys, you can buy this on Walmart. Hashtag not spawns. It was only like $5.50 plus like $20 for shipping. I highly recommend that you guys buy this. It is worth it. Okay.
Sorry if the camera is like shaky. It's just because
he's shaking from how good it is.
Yeah, and I'm just doing it with one hand and all. So.
Thank you so much for watching us ramble about Rick and Morty.
It was fun.
And I post new videos every Sunday. Have a great day.